General Hospital. The Night That Refuses to Die, Michael, Jacinda, and the Lie That Could Destroy Them Both. Long before the gunshot that tore through Drew Kane's body, Port Charles was already simmering with secrets that had been buried under polite smiles and political crusades. Now, as investigators peel back the layers of the night he was shot, those secrets are rising in the dark like smoke, curling around the lives of everyone desperate enough to lie their way toward safety. No pair, however, stands on shakier ground than Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken, whose carefully synchronized alibi has begun to collapse in plain sight. What began as a protective instinct, a small lie told in panic, is spiraling into a monster that threatens not only their futures but the fragile alliances that once held the entire community together. Michael had always believed that he could control the narrative. He had grown up learning that power and perception were currency. But the night Drew fell, bleeding and half-conscious, Michael underestimated just how many people were watching him, how many motives could be twisted, and how many enemies were waiting for one misstep. Jacinda, equally confident in her charm and her discretion, had accepted his request for help without fully grasping the gravity of the story she was stepping into. Together, they crafted the perfect timeline: dinner, late-night conversation, a locked apartment door. They aligned their memories like puzzle pieces, never imagining that a single missing piece could betray them both. But Port Charles is a place where no lie stays buried. Detective Harrison Chase, who has spent months quietly observing Michael's increasingly erratic behavior, knew immediately that the alibi was too clean, too rehearsed, too perfect. And perfection, in his experience, was always the first sign of guilt. He began picking at the threads: security footage, timestamps, phone logs, witness testimony, and the more he pulled, the more the facade unraveled. The real bombshell, however, came when Chase unearthed a detail Jacinda thought she had buried far deeper than her involvement with Michael: her secret meeting with Ezra Boyle, a client whose presence at the wrong time could blow apart everything she and Michael had claimed. Ezra had no reason to protect Jacinda. If anything, he had every reason to weaponize their rendezvous. Chase suspected that the truth was not only within reach but sitting right there in Ezra's hands, waiting for the moment to detonate. In a case already infected with uncertainty and emotional manipulation, this new piece of evidence became a turning point, one that could pivot the entire investigation away from Willow and directly onto Michael and Jacinda. Alexis Davis, watching the case veer from one disastrous revelation to another, understood the political storm on the horizon. She wanted Willow freed of suspicion, washed completely clean of Drew's blood-stained memories. But even she did not anticipate the chain reaction that Chase's discovery could set into motion. Clearing Willow meant redirecting suspicion, and in the world of the PCPD, the target shifts to whoever the facts, or the appearance of facts, point toward. With Jacinda and Michael's alibi crumbling, they suddenly became the perfect candidates. For Drew, who now sees betrayal in every shadow, the unraveling of this lie is poetic justice. Michael had promised support, had insisted he was loyal, had played the role of grieving friend with flawless sincerity. To know that Michael lied about where he was, lied about who he was with, lied when Drew's life hung in the balance, is a wound deeper than the bullet itself. Drew wants accountability. He wants consequences. And if the legal system delivers Michael in handcuffs, humiliated and exposed, it may feel to him like the only justice he has left. But the legal threat stretching over Michael and Jacinda goes far beyond the simple destruction of an alibi. The PCPD is preparing potential charges with the eagerness of hunters circling prey, filing false statements, obstruction of justice, compliance in hindering an investigation. Any one of these could lead to arrest. Combined, they form a trap with the teeth to rip through both of their lives. And Chase, quiet, methodical, determined, is ready to spring at the moment the last piece falls into place. For Jacinda, the panic is setting in. Privately, she realizes she miscalculated. She thought she was helping a powerful man escape suspicion, but now she sees she has tied herself to someone whose calm exterior hides a storm of fractured loyalties and desperate impulses. As Chase circles closer, she begins to understand the danger of standing beside Michael Corinthos. He has everything to lose and no hesitation to burn down whatever stands between him and freedom. Michael, for his part, feels the walls closing in. He has survived murder charges, deception, custody battles, betrayals within his own family. But this is different. This is not a conspiracy, this is his own mistake, widening into an abyss. Each time he sits in the quiet of the Quartermain mansion, he hears Chase's voice echoing in his head, sees the image of his hands cuffed behind his back, imagines reporters swarming him as he is dragged into an interrogation room. Michael Corinthos, arrested not for gunfire, but for a lie. And then there is Willow. Chase's determination to shield her is palpable. If sacrificing Michael is what it takes to clear her name, to restore her reputation, to give her stability after months of uncertainty, then he will do it without hesitation. Jacinda, too, becomes collateral damage in his quest to protect Willow. The public spectacle would be devastating, photographs splashed across newspapers, accusations swirling on social media, the community whispering behind closed doors. Chase knows all of that will create enough distance between Willow and suspicion to free her permanently. Every force in Port Charles seems aligned against Michael and Jacinda now. Their botched alibi, once a flimsy safety net, is days away from becoming the rope that could hang them both. Every new witness, every forensic detail, every procedural twist only deepens the peril. Once Chase presents the evidence to the PCPD, the fallout will be immediate and irreversible. The irony, of course, is that neither Michael nor Jacinda pulled the trigger that night. But in Port Charles, guilt is not always about the act itself, it is about the lies told in the shadows afterward. Lies that leave fingerprints. Lies that bury innocence. Lies that refuse to stay dead. And as the sun rises over the Charles River, a truth becomes undeniable. In the aftermath of Drew Cain's shooting, the greatest danger was never the bullet. It was the lie meant to hide the truth. General Hospital fans may soon watch Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken walk into the PCPD, not as witnesses, but as suspects. And once that happens, nothing in their lives, or the investigation, will ever be the same again.